Oh, yeah.
Nothing I like more than having prestige mod followed by prestige mod.
Exactly. Now, you guys are in the meeting room with the four of you plus Elwyn, the elf.
Wait, the four of us? Oh, okay. Right.
It's four total, three PCs plus Elwyn. And Elwyn he's looking miffed.
As is Freddy.
I'm alive. What is happening?
You're given a cup of he starts to offer you tea, looks, sees who it is, puts it away, gets you a stronger drink, and hands it to you.
Thank you.
Well, Mildred, long time no see.
Yeah, I know. I thought I was dead.
I'm Mildred. I thought I was dead too.
Did you?
I'm not.
Elwyn looks
I wish I was.
All right,
Oh,
so
by the way, Freddy is all like scratched up. There's like just blood on his clothes and everything. He's not looking too good.
You look like you had fun.
Elwyn goes and gets a sheet, makes Freddy stand up, drapes the sheet over the chair, then allows him to sit down. That's about as far as Elwyn's compassion for Freddy goes.
I just like sprawl my legs out on the
Well, Dad,
lean back.
Elwyn looking at Holmes, he says,
yes.
I
Actually, I don't think Mildred. I can't recall if Mildred's seen me since the change.
Oh shit. Do you remember Obed, the kind of dumb-looking guy?
Yeah, I know he's Obed. Is he still?
Oh, you do know. I couldn't remember.
He's
couldn't
half
remember
Obed
if you-
and he's half Joshua McKay, and he got all the worst parts.
Yeah,
Great.
you said it.
Congratulations, I guess.
Yes. I couldn't recall if you
Yeah.
were there for the last couple of missions when it all went down.
I gotta say, with your being the foremost expert in shapeshifting for the PCs, eventually you might be able to just shapeshift your way back to your old form.
That is my intent.
I see.
That is why I'm hammering that tree.
Got it. Elwyn steeples his fingers and he says, Dad,
Yes, Elwyn.
I'd ask for him, glares at Freddy, to do a relatively simple task, and it seems to have, again, spiraled completely out of control.
I mime to Joshua.
Have you burnt down part of the
wasn't
building
simple.
again, Freddy?
I just mime. It wasn't simple.
Have you burnt down part of the building again?
No.
Elwyn says, I've heard it could be an entire town.
You've burnt down an entire town.
I didn't burn anything down, damn it.
Good job, Freddy. I approve of your latest development.
Elwyn just shakes his head. Perhaps Freddy would care to give us a little briefing then, because the information that I've gotten back seems to be a little different, because the information I've gotten back is that he was going around lighting fires to buildings, and plus, he apparently, I told him to not mess up the town, and if it looked like it was going to mess up, make sure it didn't mess up while he was around there, because it would reflect badly on the Australian embassy, because I was given a kind of a hint from the Lord Governor here that he would like to see some Australians in action, and Freddy was the best of what was left. So we sent him. And I've heard that he burned down and Cronenberg the town.
Well, I don't know who you heard this from, but you need to get more reliable sources.
I'm quite amazed that you know the word Cronenberg, Alwyn.
Thank you. I've been hanging out with the Doors and stuff. It's in their old-timey films and stuff.
Yes, yep.
I mean, living in quite close proximity, having sex with some of them. You hear things, Dad.
I bet you do.
Okay, so
now if only we could find some. Yeah, that's something, Mildred. All the original people from MMO Land.
Mm-hmm.
All several hundred of them are here at the embassy.
Look, never mind them. They have their own problems.
No. Just so Mildred understands.
I know.
So the room that you had, that was your own room.
Uh-huh.
You don't.
Well, I disappeared like for a few months and you just like kick me out of my room. What's that about?
Unfortunately, there's several hundred refugees staying at the embassy at the moment who have fled from MMO land.
Owen leans toward the woman with no name and says in one of those stage whispers, "The reason is Freddy's fault," he says. Nods at you.
Oh, I look at Freddy.
Well, I'm not sure how much of it was his fault. I believe he was involved in the circuit situation, but I don't know how much would be just his fault.
I look at him as more of a ringleader type, Dad, says Owen.
Yeah. Anyway, the offspring of the MMO people didn't like the fact that these guys could live forever and stuff, and were getting a bit uppity about it.
Oh, right. I remember that.
Yeah, you might remember some of that. Yeah.
Here.
Yeah, so they've decided to leave before we managed to find them a place. And as far as I'm aware, we've not yet found them a world where they can go to
Oh, no.
set up base.
Okay. Makes sense, kind of.
So things are at stress point at the moment here at the embassy.
Oh, Logan. Oh, okay, you're back. Cool.
All right. So,
No.
Aeolus, what's the situation with this new...
Logan, can you hear us?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you froze up West, but no one else froze up. So
I'm sure it's just some sort of evil.
definitely a you thing. Okay, anyway. So with a kind of glazed over look in his eye, Freddy pulls out from his backpack a kind of like a pad, and he just plunks it on the table and says, just read that, okay?
Okay.
Now, unfortunately, because it's kind of a radio type program, McKay, could you please read whatever he's written down for you aloud for the studio audience to enjoy?
All right. Come on, give me the link. What's it doing? Oh, there we go. There's a bit of a novel there.
Welcome to slavery.
At the bottom of it, there's a PS for somebody. Oh.
Uh-huh.
Okay, we were sent on a bounty by the Crown to locate Hank Hanratty and bring him back to the sheriff in Bakersfield. Oh, there's a Bakersfield here now, is there? Interesting. There is a warrant out.
Says Owen.
No,
That's
previously
where we were building the train tracks to for a long time.
Oh, okay. Previously, there was just forest when I went looking originally.
He glares at you.
Well, that was back when we first found you and your sister.
Please continue on. I want to hear what Freddy has to say.
There is a warrant out for his arrest. It's got to show them the poster. So, Freddy, show us the poster.
I reach into my bag, show you the poster.
It's got a nice hand drawing on it and stuff.
Said to have killed the sheriff and his deputy approximately 2 years ago. The sheriff and deputy of Bakersfield, or the sheriff and deputy of somewhere else?
Somewhere else, says Owen.
All right. Said to be in or around a town called Stillwater. The embassy offered to take care of this in order to get some more good press. We were given a map of Stillwater, a compass. Why does Stillwater sound familiar? A compass, $100 to cover expenses, train tickets, a bag full of monocles, and leg shackles and horses for when we arrived in Bakersfield. We were given a note signed and stamped by Elwyn stating that we were bounty hunters working for the Australian Embassy by permission of the Crown and the Governor Royal of St. Angeles. Long story short, we were mugged along the way by bandits and lost about $90 trying not to get killed.
Owen just gapes.
Along the way, you mean on the train, or you mean you got off the train and you're on horseback, or?
No, we were in the middle of the desert on horseback.
Okay. Did you have a horse with no name?
Probably.
Owen just
Didn't-
stares at Freddy. One guy? One guy?
There were two
Uh,
people.
What?
There was two of you, he yells.
And how many bandits were there?
One that confronted us, and another one with a rifle off in
Right.
the bush somewhere.
Why didn't you
Okay.
just eat him or kill him or something?
Because
Says Owen. He looks alarmed.
Mildred, we've missed you. Where are we? Bandits lost $90 trying not to get killed, then spent the rest of the time hating the desert and everything in it. Eventually we made it to town. I hate the desert. We left our horses at the livery. They were in very bad shape. Fairly small town. Marshal Clintman was lazy and useless. So there's a marshal there as well as a sheriff, is there?
no, just a marshal.
So
In Stillwater. This is in Stillwater, by the way. Not
this is
there.
in Stillwater. Okay.
Yeah.
He had a prisoner, Blanchard, who had apparently lost his wits, that we did not meet in the jail cell. We went to the saloon, got cleaned up, only to get dressed in our dirty clothes again. Got some food and drink
Really
and asked
detailed briefing, says Owen.
asked the bartender if he knew anything about Hank. Told us he was dangerous and that he hung out at the cantina, which is run by Alejandro Vargas.
Alejandro.
Vargas.
Close enough.
Told it best not to ask too many questions about Hank as it could get your throat slit in the wrong company. Warned to stay clear of the cantina as it was a rough place. There appear to be minor earthquakes every now and then. This has been happening for about a week and a half. We then saw some sort of rockets with firework-like lights being shot out above the town. They seemed to be coming from a distant mesa about 8 to 10 kilometers away, with several dark humanoid figures, too far to make out. Had a rock formation that looked as if it was giving the middle finger. The rockets sprayed the town with some kind of dust or substance which caused everyone to go absolutely insane and start turning inside out, etc.
Ooh,
We were lucky and our strong constitution managed to resist the effects. Nasty.
sounds
While the town was going crazy, we went and scavenged some supplies from the store. Of note, there was TNT and guns in the store, among
You
other basic
robbed
things
the store?
such as food and bedrolls. There we also took a strange ball object that was hanging up by the door. European witch balls, to be specific. And that's witch as in WITCH, not witch as in which one. These were all over the town from what we saw. Inside it, there was definitely some sort of intricate circuitry. Okay. A while later, we cracked it open, and after a very minor explosion, ascertained that it was some sort of alien technology surveillance device. As soon as we did, the circuitry turned into grey goo.
Just like the mission, says Owen.
Okay. We went and camped further away from the town next to one of the mountains. We were approached by wild owls led by a man named Taser. Behind each elf was a bow with a very thin figure wrapped in dark garments and unnaturally still, unknown what they were. Weren't you around for the undead invasion by the elves, Freddy?
No.
Okay. They're basically, the elves are necromancers. Most of the elves are necromancers.
I gathered as much.
And that is basically their ancestors who are mummies.
Oh.
That's who I'm
Now I know.
assuming who they are behind them.
Yeah.
Based on what we've encountered previously.
Yep.
Where are we? They told us that we were trespassing and we apologized and said we meant no harm. After a bit of back and forth, they told us that they were aware of the problem in knife-cut mesa and that it posed a great danger. One of their scouts returned completely blind after seeing an immensely bright crystal up in the volcano on the mountains. We were told that looking directly at it while the sun is out would cause you to go permanently blind. We were also told of mud-like beings who were capable of shooting parts of themselves at you. They had briefly fought them using their undead skeletal pets, but they were shocked when they found out that the mud beings were also able to damage the skeletons. From what I know during my time with Lumsey, only magical attacks can harm skeletal summons. This either means the skeletons are a weaker version or the mud beings are somewhat magical. We eventually agreed to help them with these beings in exchange for helping us find Hank, who they seemed to know the location of to a certain extent. We were taken to their camp after being blindfolded, spent the night in a tent, then dropped off the next day not too far from the mesa in question. There were 3 interesting places to explore: the mesa, scrubland, rocks, low grass, vegetation, the volcano with the crystal in it, and the knife cut / canyon, approximately 3 stories high at the tops. The mesa had some footprints from people wearing moccasins. The elves had these. Impressions made by heavy equipment, presumably the stands for the rockets, burnt patches and vegetation, some boot prints, and large, irregular, weirdly shaped footprints. We started by exploring the top of the canyon before going down into it, where we found 6 fleshy, golem-like beings waiting to push large rocks off the edge onto anyone crossing the canyon. We snuck up on them and dispatched them. They were not particularly skilled combatants. They were fairly stupid and didn't even seem to show any emotion. Going back into the canyon, knife-cut mesa, afterwards we found several old bones of varying beastkin and animal that seemed to have been chewed on. Unknown what. Going further in, we went into a cave. On the walls there were crudely drawn symbols and patterns in brown pigment, one of which I recognize as being a triskelion, the symbol we sometimes saw one Zog's minions.
So on Zog's.
Saw on Zog's minions. Okay. Stepping back and looking at all the symbols as a whole, the yin-yang infinity symbol can just about be made out. I was angry. Further into the cave, we were discovered by a few of those flesher.
I didn't say flesh
That's the
golem.
longest and most
Okay.
self-incriminating report I've ever heard. in my
Of
life.
those flesh
So,
golems. We fought them off, but 2 of them started yelling and more arrived. They seemed to jump into one and started growing larger and larger. We ran away, and on our way out we saw what looked to be like some sort of grey alien thing. Not too long after, we were busy planning our next move. A small green cylinder-like object landed right at our feet and released some sort of noxious gas. Luckily, we were able to resist whatever harmful effects it may have had on us. When we looked up, we saw 2 of those same aliens. They seemed confused and started talking to each other. One of them pulled out some sort of grey rock and started talking to it. We took a few shots at them but failed to do any meaningful damage before several of those flesh golems ran out of the cave. One of the aliens also activated some sort of blue force field around themselves after pulling out another rock with a blue stain on it. The flesh golems eventually, after a bit of a kerfuffle as they fell over each other, turned into one giant golem. We had already started running at this point, but it was clear that its giant steps would eventually catch up to us. So just as we turned around to fight it head on, it got called back by its masters, the aliens. After going a bit further away, we discussed what to do next and decided to go and check out the Mountain of Doom, where the blindingly bright crystal was said to be. Sure enough, once we got there, it was bright as fuck as the sun's rays reflected off it. Luckily, we were able to resist being permanently blind. It appeared to be some sort of giant pineapple-shaped crystal thing. Definitely alien technology. We went back down and decided to wait a while until nightfall before having another look. We decided against going back into town as there was no telling what state of the people there was. They may have been all turned into those flesh golems or still be crazy. Nightfall came and we avoided being caught by the search party. They had some sort of post-mark
Sorry, milky white.
milky white
Yeah.
crystal in one hand and were holding it out with the pointy bit facing out. Later find out this is a laser pistol. Unknown what it actually was doing. Went back up the mountain of doom and saw that the crystal was no longer blindingly bright, however it was still pretty warm.
So wait. You found out the crystal could blind you, and so you went and had a look yourselves, and it's only by luck you weren't blinded?
No, we resisted it. The effect of it.
Why the fuck would you look at it if you were told it would blind you?
They went during the night.
Before that.
Yeah, well, yes, there was before that. They went
Well,
during
look,
the day.
all right, we had to see for ourselves.
All right.
Shows the guards in the hall. Shows the people down the hall. Shows like 100 people outside.
Some kind of beacon, where are we? How it seems, went back into the Mountain of Doom and saw that the crystal was no longer blindingly bright. However, it was still pretty warm. Is this some sort of high-tech solar panel? Some kind of beacon that summons more aliens to take over the universe is my best guess. Going down the slope, we entered the same cave system, but from the other side. We found several high-tech alien machines and workbenches, as well as some weird plates with alien writing we could not decipher, and eventually stumbled into a surprise alien in one of the rooms. We quickly dispatched him. During the fight, he attempted to draw out and used some sort of rock with a blue stain on it and another white rock with a pointed bit at the end in his other hand. We tested them and discovered that the rock with the blue stain, when the stain was pushed, emitted a blue force field around the user for 25 seconds. It is a one-time use item. The white pointy stone turned out to be a laser pistol that dealt mediocre damage. Again, you have to press the little stain in the middle in order to activate it. We are certain it had around 25 charges. We went into another room and located what seemed to be some sort of armory. Several of these stones were in there, as well as others we had not seen. We managed to recover 3 stones with the blue stain, 3 white pointed stones, 3 palm-sized greyish stones, like the one we saw him talk into, put near their lips, 2 amber-coloured cylinders with black triangles on each end, same dimensions as the pale green ones, 5 pale green crystal cylinders, 10 centimeters long, 2 centimeters diameter with a black triangular mark at each end, and 8 milky white spherical globes. Finally, and quite unfortunately, we were discovered by some more aliens and a huge fight ensued. We managed to destroy the large flesh golem, which then split into several midget-sized golems who almost killed Vincent, knocking him unconscious before moving for me. After killing most of them, 2 more aliens appeared and started shooting at me. A few karma expensive rounds later, I was left fighting one of the 2 aliens after killing the first one. He pulled out some sort of black stone with triangles on the end and looked menacingly at me. He knew he was going to die. I can only assume that this was some sort of grenade, and so I put all my effort into killing him in one swift blow. Excuse me. With the threat now gone, I quickly pulled out the anal refresher, rammed it up Vince's ass, which woke him up, and hightailed it on out of there. We Trump-gated back to the embassy after I cursed the universe for not making my ability to use this power more proficiently. I hope you enjoyed reading this essay. P.S. Mildred, this is how you do a briefing.
Hey, I think my briefings are perfectly good with as much information as this thing. I don't know what you are talking about. I'm just like, I'm not wasting people's time. I choose the important information and tell them to them when it's needed, like 2 seconds before it's needed. So,
Cool.
wow. Okay. So,
there, fix it.
fix what? You're going to mess with aliens? Like, why are you involved with aliens?
Also, could one of you like patch me up?
Can't we be
I
friends with the aliens?
I feel terrible.
Did you ask, what did you say about the aliens, says Owen?
Can't we be friends with the aliens?
Oh, I thought you
I don't
said
know.
something else. Okay.
I thought you said dance.
I thought she said have sex with, and I was like, are you Alex Kinley in disguise?
You never know.
Actually, that reminds me. Have you tried going back to the halfway in at all, Aeolus?
No,
Okay.
I've been a bit preoccupied
Nice.
with the world blowing up and stuff.
That's all right.
I'm gonna play an Insta Hero. So, yeah.
Because there was a grey there from memory.
These weren't the same gray aliens that are down in the sewers, by the way, or that were in the sewers. These are
Oh,
different.
they're different to those ones, were they?
Yeah.
All right. Does anybody want flame thrower plus 20?
That'll stop those pesky aliens.
And I'll get rid of the skill plus 5 and play caring for your mount.
Nice.
Be sure to take a look at your card, Gianna.
Oh.
I know you're just staring off into the distance, plotting the overthrow of the United States government, but in the meantime,
Somebody has to save the US from the current regime. So, right.
In the background, we see Homeland Security
Service,
hit the door.
Yeah. One of the person I'm living it with is a prosecutor, so
Okay.
he's prosecuting you. Wow.
hopefully not yet.
Mm. She has unexpected connections.
I do.
Yes.
So, and on top of all that, says Owen, you have failed to bring and ready.
All right. So you went there to get this
Hank.
Hank guy.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, you uncovered something a lot bigger.
Yeah. He was either A, in the town when the rocket sprayed them with whatever dust and went crazy, we didn't see him, or as the elves mentioned to us, he is outside of town somewhere.
Hiding.
Yeah.
Does somebody want opponent fails?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
So what's going to happen now, says Owen.
Well, I have a trump back to the mesa. If you want to go
You
there
do?
immediately.
Good.
Yeah.
That's
So,
good. That'll make things easier.
A lot quicker, and I doubt you'll die in the desert.
But we like the desert.
no,
Great.
no, we don't.
Be sure to get the horses back to Bakersfield when you're done.
Yeah, they probably went crazy along with the people.
You think they probably got turned inside out?
I mean, we didn't exactly go to check, but we can do that once we're there.
Wow. All right then. Do you need any supplies before you guys set out, Dad? Says Owen.
So what are your thoughts? Oh, I'm not sure yet. Depends on what.
Well, I definitely want to take my magical armor with me this time, and a rifle. I don't know about
You're
you.
gonna wear armor in the desert? That's pretty ballsy of you.
Look, I know what to expect now. I'm not going there with no protection.
I thought you carried condoms.
I do. Do you want to see it?
He's been dropping off condoms and birth control pills here. Whoa, we're out of both, by the way, he says.
Yeah, I know you are.
Yeah, good, because the idiots keep breeding, even though it was the whole reason they got kicked out of MO land was because they were breeding like rabbits.
They used the condoms and the pills religiously. And by that, I mean they prayed they would work. But when they ran out, you know, you can't just stop having sex, he says.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know, even now, there's probably a good couple hundred people having sex somewhere on the grounds. It's been like a spermicide war.
We need to put these people to work.
Oh, they are. They are. We're trying to work them really hard. So, you know, but I mean, we are building more stuff on the embassy grounds, and there's been talk about if we could get more money to buy some adjacent properties. Eventually, we'll, you know, and if we can't, we may just build a giant pyramid here on the embassy grounds. Just to have a building that goes all the way to the edges of the grounds.
Oh, hold on.
We're just trying to maximize our space.
Yes.
We don't hear
There you are. There you are, have fun.
He just he gives you see Owen glaring at Freddie as though Freddie just said, I got that puppy you sent me and I kicked it a lot off of a bridge. Owen's looking at Freddie like that when Freddie discreetly hands some cards over.
No, they're in the vault already.
Oh, yeah, okay, cool.
I just tell them Pete.
And are these your cards or are these?
Oh, these are Vincent Vega's. VEGA.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all right. Normally, Owen looks at Freddie with that expression anyway. Doesn't seem to get along well.
All right, so what do you guys...
I'll be right back, says Owen. He glares at Freddie, gets up, goes to the door, goes out.
What do you think we can do then?
All right, so your trump card goes to where exactly?
To the behind the rock in the mesa, where we were hiding out for a while.
And how far away is that from Stillwater?
About 8 to 10 kilometers. So a few hours walk.
All right, so we'll probably. Is there any water there?
In the town, there is, but it's
No. Where the trump goes to.
Oh no, it's a desert. There's no water.
All right. Is there, and I assume, well, how far away are the elves?
In the opposite mountains, so other side of town, basically. So a ways away.
Okay. So we'll probably want food and water. However, we do have one benefit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we don't necessarily have to camp there every night, do we?
No, we don't. Also, I do have the cylinders and everything that we managed to take if you want to test
the
see what they do.
The crystals and stuff.
Yeah. We know what 2 of them do, but not the others.
I can even show pictures of the crystals.
Oh, yeah, show them the pictures, yeah.
Cool. Let's see.
But before we do any heroic actions, I need...
We need to get drunk. first, okay? This is like they had to be this, but it's so little. I wasn't alive so long. We need to have a big celebration and have some fun. And then maybe we can save the world, okay?
Can you do that after you give me some medical assistance?
You're fine. Come on. You just need a little. I gave him the rest of my drink into his hands.
I'm not really.
Door bursts open. Several servants carry in a large tub and several pails of water and such, and begin filling the tub with the water.
What?
Foxy comes in, goes over to Freddy, grabs his ear, stands him up. They begin stripping him down.
I
Right
can
there.
do it myself.
Could you bring in a screen as well if you're going to do that?
Oh yes, sir.
Thank you.
No problem. They bring in a screen so that it's around the ambassador only. And
Could you put it around the bathtub?
oh, right, says Foxy.
I'm not
Right,
sure if
right.
Mildred wishes to witness this or not. I don't know, actually. Mildred, did you want to witness this or not?
No, I'm good.
No problem. They put the screen around the bathtub. You hear, it sounds like they're trying to drown him on the other end. They're taking advantage of your heavily wounded state, Freddy, in order to bully you into the bath.
Fine, I'll let them do it.
No problem. While they're scrubbing you, Foxy looks at one of the people that's helping scrub you down, goes, "You could drown him in the bath right now," and the ambassador wouldn't say a thing. And the guy goes,
I can hear you.
more scrubbing and working and flashing noises. It'd be nice if somebody's to patch up your wounds as opposed to scrubbing them with a hard
I
bristle.
did ask them, but no one seems to want
No,
to.
nobody gives a shit. And so, right, eventually, and by the way, Freddy only left off one or two vital things from his report, which shocks me because he has all this inanity stuff in there that you guys aren't going to care about. So, good deal.
I just maybe one or two things. Yeah.
I give him some cards for it, though.
Everything, just longer.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, you can see there the selection of crystals. Ignore the brown spots that are on the picture. That's where the idiot artist had put labels, and Logan very carefully got rid of the labels. Mm-hmm. It's on the middle left.
Mm. Mm.
Zoom, zoom, zoom. Scroll. Okay, so that object on the left is the
That's the
crystal
laser.
laser.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you've got those ones. That
Yeah.
serpent motif in the background.
This doesn't do anything.
Yeah, it's just garbage.
This is the laser pistol. This is the force field. These are the green gas grenades of doom. We don't know what they do.
Mm-hmm.
These are the amber ones. And I believe this is the spherical white one. And I don't know which of these are the gray ones, because there's a lot. Maybe it's this one. I don't know. But yeah.
Okay.
No problem. Eventually, Freddy emerges from behind the screen. He's got new adventuring clothing on. They take away the other stuff to recycle it because the embassy is still hurting for money, but they're keeping everybody fed. And unfortunately, fed people like to have sex with each other. They're trying to encourage all the people who are gay because they produce a lot less children. So,
Or encourage anal.
this is
Okay.
popular with half of the people, and the other half less so.
I wonder if to find some more drink.
There's a whole alcohol cabinet nearby because you guys are in one of McKay's many meeting rooms. Because while your bedroom has been apparently overrun by people, McKay has these huge luxury suites that nobody's allowed into unless McKay is here.
How is that fair? Am I supposed to camp here again? That's remind.
I'm the ambassador. That's why.
Who made you an ambassador? Okay.
I mean, he did.
Well, I was the one who set all this up.
Yeah.
But you are surely like caring about other people and fairness, and you want us to be happy, so you will give us rooms.
We'll see what happens in regards to the circumstance.
Cut to just the guards hauling her off because she was trying to break into your quarters again.
Maybe I will live here now.
I'm sure we can find a wheelbarrow for you to sleep in.
I don't need a wheelbarrow. I'm completely. Wait,
You're drunk already, damn.
Give me an alcohol tolerance roll. You have been working hard.
where are my dice things? Oh, we have the character sheets now. I completely forgot
We've
about.
had them for ages.
I know. I just forgot about everything.
Damn, this is what happens when she gets too much time off the game.
All right.
Where's my alcohol thing?
I go back to the other page for you guys. Hey. Well, it's wheelbarrow time again. She's just a little unsteady. She's not. She can still stagger around and accuse people of things and stuff.
Hey.
But
I need my own room. Okay. Just give me my own room.
But hey, come on, first aid me. I need to be in tip-top shape.
Don't you have the healing tree at all?
Not that guy.
we've got a doctor on staff who can come in and take a look.
Okay, I need healing.
I'll get the doctor, says Elwin.
Okay, I need healing.
Yeah, I heard you. I'll get the doctor.
No, okay. I hide behind Doctor.
I can try and give you some first aid if you wish.
Yes, please.
Don't do it.
Damn it.
No problem. Eventually, their doctor comes in, he checks you out, and he says, "My God, I see exactly what's happened here. It appears that all your fur is falling out." All right. He turns to McKay and he says, "Give him this twice a day. It should help promote a healthy coat."
He's a human doctor. He's not a.
I'm
what?
Australian.
He's an Australian.
Yes. Well,
Australians don't have fur, as you note on myself and Mildred there.
Hi, that's me. I'm not drunk.
well, in that case, give him this. He gives you the same vial 3 times a day, and it should help him out.
Wait, let me
Okay.
try something. I have this
Mildred could try and patch you up.
Is that a quarter now?
I'm very good at patching people up.
No,
Just kidding, knife.
no. Let me see if this will work. Nope, okay, well. Never mind.
Right. Mildred, he's just standing there as you're staggering toward him, getting knife.
Don't touch me.
I take out my skinning knife.
You're drunk. I run around the table.
It's just like old times, says Elwin.
I just want to help you. Why does
No!
believe in me?
Listen, I don't need your help. I'm fine.
Would you like us to send in some guards, Joshua, to capture him and have him submit to whatever she's going to do?
Tempting. No.
Very well. Is there going to be anything else? Otherwise, I'll go back to administrating.
No, at this stage, no.
All right.
We'll sort out some water skins and stuff.
All right. You know, he's pretty beat up, but we could have one of the guards hit him before we leave if you want, Dad.
No, needs more useful unbeaten.
I need a good head first.
He said, if you say so. Well, unfortunately, if the town's is in bad of condition, as you said, there's no time to delay.
Mm.
So I'll get some provisions sent in immediately.
Thank you.
Certainly.
Get some gear.
Yep.
I was looking.
Is there anything you need from downstairs, Dad?
I'm checking. There we go. I thought this was there. The desert gear that we purchased a long time ago. There we go.
All right.
There it is.
I'll have that brought right up, along with food, water, and do you need
Armor,
anything else?
armor, my armor, please.
Nah, you're too beat up to use armor, he says.
Equipment.
I can, no,
You're just getting baked to death in the desert if you're trying to wear armor.
I just need my armor.
Sure.
There should be 2 sets of desert gear.
All right. I'll set right up.
One of them is Mildred's.
Of course. I
By
did
a
it.
strange fluke.
Of course. Armor's a really bad idea in the desert, but if you want it sent up, it's your funeral, he says.
It's only leather armor, it's fine.
You don't understand. You're going to be wearing leather. It's like wrapping yourself in a blanket, wondering why it's so goddamn hot. You'll probably go into convulsions and stuff from overheating. Which, given your current physical shape, it shouldn't be too bad.